In this one, your challenge is relatively simple if you've ever played Mad Libs before. Your challenge is to create a program that takes in variable types, so they're probably just about all going to be strings except for maybe a few numbers, that are going to tell a story with some words omitted. You type them in the inspector, and when you hit play, your story generates in the console using those variables. If you're not sure what a Mad Lib is, please pause real quick and go Google what it looks like in order to do this. And you can do it really, really short. The goal for this is to get more variable practice and also to get practice appending information to each other in one long string. So if you need to, go ahead and pause the video here, look up what a Mad Lib is, do your best to create. You can create a new script, you can use one of the ones that we've created so far, and write a short Mad Libs, fill in the data in the inspector, and hit play, and it should print in the console. Otherwise, I'm going to go through a solution right now. So I'm actually going to create a new script for this. In our scripts folder, I'm going to create a C# script, and I'm going to call it Mad Libs, and hit enter and let it compile. Okay, so on our cube, I'm going to make sure that the pet script is removed. I'm going to hit the 3 dots and choose remove component, and then add the Mad Lib script instead by just dragging it on. There we go. And then go ahead and double click and open up your Mad Lib script. So I Googled a Mad Lib story that's from Queer Sci-Fi. That's what happens when a unicorn poops. I'm not going to do the whole thing because holy cow, it's tedious. I'm just going to pick a couple sentences to show you how that would look. I'm going to put a comment in start because I know that the full sentence is unicorns aren't like other plural nouns. They're adjective. One thing I've always verb ed about is whether unicorns verb rainbows, or is their noun adjective like any other animals? And the last sentence will be like, some plural noun don't believe unicorns are adjective, but I believe in them. I've marked all of the places that need to be variables. We'll just be using strings for all of this. And actually, because they're all strings, these plural nouns, adjectives, verbs in them, we can do something special with a variable declaration because they're all the same data type. We can declare them like this. I'm going to go public string, and then I will say plural noun 1 and separate it by a comma, and then we can do the next one, which is adjective 1. Adjective 1, verb ed. The next one is verb. Then we have noun, adjective 2, plural noun, and adjective. And I'm just going to end that with a semicolon. And what that's going to do is that's going to create a field for every single one of those variables since they all share the same data type. Now that we have all of those strings, we don't need to assign them. We need to actually turn this into a big Debug.Log statement. So I'm going to delete the comment and just turn this into a Debug.Log, and then open up the parentheses and slowly go through. So unicorns aren't like other, and then end that with a plus sign, and we're going to call this one plural noun 1 plus more strings there, and append that to adjective 1. And I want the period in there, so I'm going to append that to the period and end that statement with a semicolon. Okay, first part done. Next part, Debug.Log. One thing I've always verb ed. Okay, so we go to here, and then we append verb ed and go back into our string. And I'm trying to be careful about where the spaces are, right? Like, we want to make sure that the sentence is still readable. One thing I've always verbed about is whether unicorns plus verb plus going back into a string rainbows, or is there, and that plus, or is there, is it just called noun? Yes, it is. Is there noun plus, we got to put that space in there, plus adjective 2, I believe, plus, and we're back in the quotes. Wait, where did we go? Quotes, like any other animals, end quote, and end it with a semicolon. The last line, Debug.Log, and some plural noun plus, what was it called? Plural noun 2 plus, and we're back in the quotes. Some plural noun 2 don't believe unicorns are adjective 3 and plus sign and back in quotes again, but I believe in them, period. And end that with a semicolon. Cool. All right, let's hit save. If I zoom out, in case you're curious, this is hard to read, but this is what the big script looks like. And let's hop back into Unity and assign our variables in the inspector and then hit the start button to see if it prints out correctly. All right, so on the cube, now you can see our Mad Libs script has all the variables that we asked for. So plural noun 1 is going to be clowns. Adjective 1 will be majestic. Verb ed will be jumped. Verb will be grease, to grease. Noun is taco. Adjective 2 is crunchy. Plural noun 2 is burritos. And adjective 3 is delicious. And now that I've filled in all that information, when I hit play, we should see our story print out with that information in there. Okay, so let's go to console. And here we go. Unicorns aren't like other clowns. They're majestic. One thing I've always jumped about is whether unicorns grease rainbows or is their taco crunchy like any other animals. Some burritos don't believe unicorns are delicious, but I believe in them. Cool, and there we go. That is our Mad Libs challenge. So hopefully you got a lot of practice declaring variables and appending variables and printing them into the console. In the next challenge, we're going to take a look at more number-based variable calculations that you can do. All right, see you in the next one.